Garage Girls. We're here at the Mustang Seat Factory in Three Rivers, Mass. Al Simmons is going to be so kind to give us a tour to see how these seats are made from start to finish. Before we go inside, Al, can you fill us in a little bit about when you started the company, why you started the company?
Well, I've been in motorcycle seats now since 1971, but I was doing it for someone else up through the 70s. And in 1980, I had a chance to branch off and start my own business, and we came up with Mustang, and that was a combination of doing motorcycle seats and some chrome parts for Harleys along with it. Things have grown a lot since then, but we've always been manufacturing right around the Palmer area of Massachusetts, where you are now.
Al, can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the name Mustang for your company?
Well, most people think of Mustang as a horse, so a horse is part of our logo, but it's sort of a flying horse, and we think that riding a motorcycle gives you the freedom of flying like a bird or maybe flying like an airplane, because most of us don't have good wings. But in reality, Mustang was a motorcycle brand just like Indian, but it was from back in the late 40s through the 50s into the early 60s, and we picked up on that. In fact, this is a restored Mustang motorcycle. This one happens to be a 1962 model. The Mustangs were made right here in the USA. There weren't a lot of them, but it's an air-cooled single-cylinder motorcycle.
How many of these little Mustangs do you have in your collection?
Oh, I have 27 of them. Yeah, I got quite a collection of them. But I have some small Harleys in my collection too, along with big Harleys. But I had to put the little Harleys with the little Mustangs so that people would see that even Harley Davidson had small motorcycles.
Yeah, great.
It makes it a lot easier to keep the bikes in one place. So in our warehouse, I've got some showcases with the bikes lined up, and they're all plastic so that the dust doesn't get on them. I should ride it more often, I suppose.
Well, you'll get to that, right?
Right. One of these days I'll retire a little bit more, but for now I'm real happy being in the motorcycle business. And no one can design a motorcycle seat more comfortably than I can with my team of engineers.
Great. Well, let's go check out the guys you've got working in the factory and see what they're up to.
All right.
Now we're in the fiberglass chop department, and this is where the fiberglass seat pans are made. And I'm here with Jay. Jay, tell us a little bit about what happens back here.
What happens back here is, first we apply the gel coat to the pan.
Okay.
After about a half an hour of curing time, it goes over to the chop booth.
Yep.
Where a resin and a glass is applied to the pan. After that's applied, it's rolled out by hand, and then it cures on the shelf for about 20 to 30 minutes.
That's it? Yep.
That's about right.
Okay.
And then it is trimmed, and then it comes over to me where it's popped off the pan and then treated with a release agent and a grease to repeat the process.
Cool. So can you show us taking off one of these guys?
Absolutely. Just like that.
Nice. Sweet. So back here, the guys are putting the finishing touches on the fiberglass base plates. We're in the metal shop department at Mustang Seats. And Ken, tell us a little bit about what goes on in the metal shop here.
Well, this is where we start fabrications and pressing for all the steel pans that we do, all the wings that we do, and all the welding. Also brackets for all the fiberglass pans come out of this room.
So once the steel base plates are cut, molded, then they're going to come over here and get powder coated. Now I know that edge trimmer is pretty important. Tell me about that, this stuff right here.
That's to keep so that when the builders, the assembly part of it, is putting the skin around it and building it, if they didn't have that on there, then the edge of the pan would actually cut through the material.
Gotcha, okay. We're in the foam department here at Mustang Seats, and Matt is going to fill us in on a little bit about what goes on over in this section. Starting to look like a seat now. I'm here with Karen, and she is the supervisor of the cutting and sewing department here at Mustang Seats. Karen, tell me, how do we take a flat piece of material and turn it into a seat cover?
Well, we have a computerized cutting machine and a lot of handwork involved. There are people that know which type of vinyl to pull out, how long to cut it, run it through the machine, then they sort it out to the different types of seats, each one separate, and then they pass it along to someone who will, we call it setting up, put on braid or any kind of decorative parts.
Yep.
And then it's passed along to stitchers who are very well trained, very good stitchers. Each one is different. They all look very similar, but each one is different. They each have their specialty, and
then you get the
that's
finished
pretty
seat
much
cover.
the thing. That's a very condensed version.
Now we've seen how we start with the seat pans and then the foam and then the stitching, and now this is where everything's going to come together. This is final assembly here at Mustang, and then once the seats are assembled, they head over to inspection. And Larry here, tell us a little bit more about what goes on in final assembly.
Okay, well this is, as you said, this is the part where all the subcomponents come together. We take all of our foams and our skins and we use a different adhesive for each part of the process. And we adhere the foam, a polyfoam layer onto our foam, which makes our seat so comfortable. Then we lay our skin on and we use a separate adhesive to glue this pan onto the whole process. And by the time that returns to us, which is roughly in about a half hour's time, everything's cured enough and we can begin the assembly process. Each style is different, so there's different variations to what we have to do. The assemblers do everything from this point, from start to finish, until inspection gets it for final assembly.
All right, let's go take a look. Now, I know this is the part Al was telling me about that's very crucial to the assembly here at Mustang Seats, the final inspection.
Yes, very
Tell
much
me about the final inspection here at Mustang.
so. Okay, this particular position involves both final assembly and product quality inspection, which we take extremely serious here. We don't sell seconds. We don't want anything out there with our name on it but the best product there is. Now, each one of these inspectors is here by design, right into the center of the assembly department for convenience purposes so we can get greater productivity. See, what he'll do is he'll go over our quality assurance plan, which is basically you're looking at your stitching, you're looking for straightness, uniformity, smoothness, and when he puts brackets on and such, they have to be by specific measurements called for by specs.
Garage Girls had an awesome day here out at the Mustang Seat Factory in Three Rivers, Mass. I can't thank Al Simmons enough for welcoming us in and showing us how these seats are made from raw material all the way to the finished product like I'm sitting on right here. It's been an awesome day. Mustang Seats, 100% made in the USA. Gotta love that.